A secret blind date? How does that even work? How is it a secret? Like you just showed up somewhere and then someone was like, this is your date, have fun. I've never been on a blind date. It sounds exciting though. Like if someone put me on a blind date with Melissa before we, met, I probably would have told her that I loved her immediately. Which I did on accident. Have I talked about that story? It was very awful. But she brings it up with her friends sometimes to make fun of me. In like a nice way, I guess. I don't know. It's... Yes, yes. I did not tell Melissa that I loved her on the first date. I told her on the second date. On accident. Why is this happening? So our first date was 17 hours long. And then the next day, well, the date started at like... Hold on, thinking time. We had been talking to each other for like a week or two.
It's been
on an app that we had met on. Not Tinder, it's like Tinder, but it's just with girls, which is easier for me. No! No! This app is called Her, and we were talking for a little bit, and we set up a date, and oh god. What? I'm gonna die. Evade. I'm dead! So our first date was 17 hours long. I invited her to watch me play at a big concert where I was like the big piano guest. I was playing a ton of stuff and it was gonna be super good. I had like solos everywhere. After that, our thing was I was supposed to teach her how to play pool because we had this conversation on the app where she told me that she had never ever lost a game of pool on the iPhone or something. And on the first date, nice. It's what I have to do to keep a girl. She actually woke up late and she missed the entire thing.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
But she was waiting for me backstage, and the first time I ever saw her, she was wearing like casual, totally casual date clothes. Very lesbian looking, with like a plaid shirt and then something underneath and like she was wearing a neck deep shirt, which is a band, I guess. Did you show her your Naruto jacket? She is aware of it now. I did not show her on the first date. She didn't come back to my place on the first date. So I am done with the concert. I put all my stuff away and then I go backstage and I see her and she's wearing this stuff and then I'm wearing a freaking tuxedo. So it was a little like strange and I was like, just give me a second to change, and I tried changing really fast and she was obviously like, what the heck, what are you doing? Why are you wearing a tuxedo? But she missed the concert, so that's her fault. It was a good concert. I was still in college at the time and I was gonna take her to this place called The Roost on campus. It's where like we have gaming stuff. It's like a game room where there's air hockey and ping pong and other stuff, but there's also pool, billiards. So we went there, it was the summer, and we went there and The Roost was closed. So we were like, okay, what do we do now? And I was like, I guess we could find a bar, because bars always have pool tables, I think. So we just picked a random bar. This was the first time we had met, so I felt a little uncomfortable saying this, but I did it anyway, and I was like, do you want me to, like, drive us there? And, I could tell that she was hesitant because we had just met. I was too, just because I didn't want her to think I was gonna kidnap her and hurt her, because that can happen. But I wasn't gonna do that. But anyway, she agreed to let me drive her to a place, and we were looking for a place together. And as soon as we got into the car, at the time I was driving a 2011 Toyota Camry. And the way that you have to like connect your phone to Bluetooth is very complicated. And it's like a very routine thing for me when I used to drive it. and I turned on the car, and then I tapped the button that helps me with my connecting my phone, and she says her bit, and it's very cut out. It's like Bluetooth audio beep, and then I say my stuff, connect phone or something, and then I go through this unnecessarily long sequence because now the car that I drive is just like, it'll just connect without me saying anything. But she was very like weirded out by it. And she told me that like way after. She was like, that was really weird to me. I didn't know what you were doing. So I drove us to a bar that we had both never been to before. It was empty for the most part because it was like the morning, basically, or just barely noon. And I was teaching her how to play pool. Very intentionally, like, getting close to her kind of stuff. After, we were there for a few hours, and she got pretty good after, like, the first 30 minutes. After that, we drove to a place called Whataburger. That's, like, our favorite fast food place. It's very famous here in Texas or in the South in general. And we were there for, like, another hour and a half. And then we drove to the college that I went to. We drove to UTSA. And then we were just walking around the campus because we both liked to do that. So she was showing me around her part of the campus, and I was showing her around my part of the campus because she never goes to my part and I never went to her part. She showed me this club room that her organization had. It was very small. I'm surprised that their club had a room that small. It was too small for them. I showed her my practice areas. I showed her like the recital hall and stuff. And then after that, we just sat in my car for literally hours. We were just sitting in the back of my car watching like YouTube. And once we were done watching YouTube, we were just talking and talking and talking and talking. And it sounds like an exaggeration, but the date was like 17 hours long. It was so crazy. And then the next day, or the same day, because we had finally departed from each other way past midnight, we saw each other. She said, the first thing she said, and this really scared me, was like, I've been thinking about this and I think that we need to take it slow. And then I was like, okay, that's fine. I don't have any problem with that. And I really didn't. What happened after that? I don't even remember what we did that day. What did we do that day? I think it was more of the same thing, like, we were just hanging out around campus where everything was safe and stuff, because we were still getting to know each other. And, then we went back to her club room, and it was just the two of us, and we were watching a movie, and she... Oh my god! Makes me cringe. Thank God she's still with me. She had asked me about, like, what movie do you think we should watch, and she had talked to me about how she really likes cats, which is not a surprise to me. So I was like, why don't we watch this one movie? It's called The Cat Returns. It's a Studio Ghibli movie, and she turned out the lights and we were watching it on a computer monitor, but the monitor didn't have any speakers, and we realized this when the movie started. So I was like, okay, not a big deal, so we'll just watch it on the monitor, but I'll just sync the movie with my phone so we can hear it. And she was sitting in my lap, and I was like, I don't know, she was just there, and I was watching the movie and she was watching the movie, and then I think it was too loud on my phone. It was just very blatty, and we both didn't like it. So then I tried reaching forward, and then I think I bumped her or something, and then I said, I'm so sorry, I love you, and then I was like, oh my god. What have I done?
What have I done?
It was the worst, like, feeling in the world because she had literally just said that morning that we met up, she was like, I think we should take it slow.
You're too slow!
Like, previously we had just spent 17 hours together, and I wasn't, like, keeping her there. I wasn't like, why don't you just stay a little bit longer? It was like we were both mutually just talking and talking and talking. And, like, the conversations were getting pretty intense. So, yeah. I said, I'm sorry, I love you. And I looked at her and I was like, I'm so sorry, I literally have zero idea why I said that. And she was very, like, fine. She didn't really care. At least she looked like she didn't really care. She was confused, but she didn't immediately, like, walk away and leave. Can Melissa come out and confirm this? She is sleeping. Because she has Science UIL tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow she can. But it did happen, I am telling you the truth. I was watching an anime movie with her, with a nice girl who was still with me, and I told her I loved her on the second date on accident. This really happened. Why does this happen to me? 69?
Nice.
So after I told her I loved her, I was like sweating. I was sweating so hard, but she was very chill about it. She was like, it's fine, it's fine, sometimes stuff just happens. And then I felt so bad because I felt like I made her super uncomfortable, which, I mean, like, if she did that to me, I would have felt the same way. But then that date was also like 17 hours long. We were talking and talking and just speaking, watching. That probably made her feel easier, to be honest. I don't know, but it really wasn't very long into our relationship that we actually... She made fun of me all the time for it, in, like, a cute way. Not like a... She made fun of me for it all the time, and then she actually said it back to me, and I was like, did you mean that? And she did, so that's good. Since you screwed up, she doesn't have to worry about screwing up. Yeah. But when she told me, like, we should take it slow, I think it's just because we were having very intense conversations on the first day. And then the second day, after I had just told her I loved her on accident, I don't think I had those feelings for her at that time. I knew that I really liked her, but I didn't love her. I don't know why that happened. But we are still together. We're gonna be together for almost 4 years in the next 2 months. Women love women dating tips with school. Spend 35 hours together on the first date. Say I love you on the second date. Move in on the fourth date. Oh my god. Everybody, when I tell them that story, or when Melissa forces me to tell them the story, it's super cringe, but people also think it's sweet because we're still together. So the moment that we're not together anymore, it's gonna be really... It's gonna go back to just being really cringe, but hopefully that never happens because I don't want it to happen. I do not recommend telling a girl that you love her on the second date by accident, or just don't even mean it. I don't know. Because it was the most uncomfortable I had ever felt. I felt like I made her uncomfortable on the first date because I had asked her, like, if she wanted me to drive us to a place, and again, just because of online dating being a little scary, I could have kidnapped her and hurt her or something. That would have been so bad. Of course I would never do that, but I could have been a person that would do that, you know? If she tries to leave on the 34th hour, I'll just lock the doors. Yeah, all of that time for the first 2 dates that were both like... The first one was 17 hours. The second one was like well over 10 hours, but I don't know if it was that long. But we were just either walking around in a place that we were both familiar with, except for that bar, or sitting in the car, or sitting somewhere else watching something and talking. But Melissa is asleep right now because in the morning she has Science UIL. They're going to regionals, so that's pretty cool. I'm sure that they're gonna do great. I wrote all that down, thanks. Please take nothing I said and actually use it. I'm scared for what will happen to you. I don't know. Did you go tell a girl that you loved her yet? Was that part of your script? Our first interactions too on the app were so stupid. I swiped on her, she swiped on me, she said, "Hi?" Hi, smiley face. And then, I sent her this long, stupid thing. I was like, sorry, I was teaching my sister how to drive and like all of this other stuff. It was unnecessarily long. But she said actually that she liked that because it was not like the typical hi. Hey, what's up? Nothing, what are you doing? Nothing. Okay. She said it was different, but she liked it. I don't even use the word love with people, so I'll be fine. I don't either, that's why I'm just very confused how that even happened. Like, I don't usually say stuff like, I love you to my friends. Just because that, at the time, like, my preference for women that I wanted to date, it was very difficult for me to be able to tell if she was into girls. Like Melissa, I had seen her around much before we had started talking, and I could not tell that she liked women. So I would never make a move on her. And it would be super uncomfortable for me if I just went up to a girl that I thought was attractive and I was like, oh, we should hang out, and then she is like immediately disgusted and freaked out that a woman hit on her because she's not into that, you know? Melissa and I actually went to the same college orientation, which when we were freshmen, or going to be freshmen in college, there were like a bunch of dates that we could have picked, but we both picked the same one. And we could have been roommates.
And they were roommates.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
For like the week that we spent on campus. I don't remember seeing Melissa at the orientation, but we both went to the same one, we discovered. But I saw Melissa a few months before we had started talking, and I was playing pool by myself at the Roost. Melissa was there playing air hockey with her friends, and the way that the Roost is set up, it's like pool table, air hockey, pool table, air hockey. So she was at the table right next to me, and she was laughing so freaking loud. I was so distracted by her, and I kind of wanted to tell her to stop. And then she would also get in the way of all of my shots, and I'd have to be like, excuse me, and she'd be like, oh, sorry, and I was actually pretty annoyed by her at the time.
Bruh.
I always tell her family that story and they always laugh. She actually pissed me off when I first met her. But I still thought she was cute and I wanted to talk to her, but I didn't know how to do it because I couldn't tell what she was into. What is up? How are you doing today? And KU as well, how are you doing today? Thank you for being here, my friends. You could be anywhere else right now, but you are here for some reason. No crit. Great. I got a sub from Panda. Panda one trick? That is my oh! I just got crit by Vegemon. Wow. Oh my god. When has this happened? I got crit by a cabbage. Hello, Glad Jonas. Yeah, I'm not gonna submit this to Glad Jonas for calling Melissa annoying. I love her. I do love her. But dang, she got in the way of all of my shots, and coincidentally, I got annoyed by her. And then for our first date, I took her to play pool. Wow. The way that life works sometimes. You get crit by a cabbage, you take a girl on a date. End up with her forever, never get world record.